Hello, welcome to Mitzvah Moments. How was your day? I am Lynn Jordan of IAMFoundLJ. Today is Mitzvah number 12. Mitzvah number 12 is from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 20b. To him shall you hold fast. To him shall you hold fast. What does it mean to hold fast? Hold fast means to bear down, remains tightly secured, stay the course, stick to, cleave. Cleave means to adhere closely, to stick to cling. The phrase hold fast is a phrase that can be traced to nautical, as being used as a nautical term, meaning sailors would use use this term, hold fast. Hold fast has Dutch origins. The two words, it's called goed vast in Dutch, which means to hold tight. When sailors were out to sea and there was an emergency, particularly when there was a storm, everyone on board was summoned onto the deck. That meant that they had to leave from the bottom, from safety, go up on the deck, be exposed to the elements, to the wind, to the harsh waves of the sea, and be on deck in the storm to help out. But one of the things that they were trained to automatically do upon getting on deck was to find and hold tightly and securely to ropes and rigging on deck. They did this so they weren't tossed to and fro, of course, and they were supplanted, they were affixed, they were locked into something and had stability. Once they were secured, they could collectively help out and address the issue, the emergency, and then continue with the voyage and successfully get through the storm. In this mitzvah, Moses is telling the Israelites, he's telling us that we are to be tightly secured and tied to God, cleave to God, hold fast to God, be yoked with God. I used to go to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts every summer on holiday. And one of the last summers that I went to Martha's Vineyard, I went to a country fair. I call it a country fair. It was probably just called a fair for them. But I call it a country fair because there were llamas, there were pig races, there were llamas, there were oxen, and there were all sorts of different animals just milling about with hay and straw and all sorts of things. I'm really tall, and I purposed it in my heart to get really close to the oxen, and they came in twos. They were paired off. So when I got as close as I was permitted at the fair, at the country fair, I discovered that oxen are an incredibly huge creatures. And they're really tall. They stand about 6 feet, 4 inches from hoof to head. And there's a huge, thick wooden beam that's like a slat on the back of the two necks of the oxen. And there's a loop for each head to go through. And they are affixed together, they are adhered together, and they're clamped and locked in. If the one on the left wants to go left and forward, the one on the right had to follow suit, had to go left and forward, and the same for the converse. They were in sync. They had to be in sync because they were connected. They were rooted together. In the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28 to 30. Christ says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." When we are yoked to God, we are submitted to Him. We take up the cross of Christ daily and die to ourselves, to our will, to our ways. And we submit ourselves, our hearts, our minds, the totality of our being, of ourselves, to Holy Spirit by faith. We submit by obedience. We submit by discipline, by servitude, by love. We are yoked together in covenant with Adonai, with God. Of course, God's thoughts towards us, what he thinks towards us, are thoughts of peace, not of evil, that will give us an expected end. God cares for us so enormously, each and every one of us. He cares for us. He wants the best for us, and he wants the best from us for his glory. Being submitted to him, holding fast to God, is, of course, the key. Just like the oxen who, at the country fair, one go left, wherever God leads me, wherever he leads me, I will follow. Wherever he leads me, I will follow. And we can be confident in this very thing, that he which begun a good work in us will perform it until the end, to the day of Jesus Christ. He that begun a good work in us will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. When we hold fast to God, he is our stronghold. We live in security in him. We have an assurance in him. We have a covenant in him, with him. What's a stronghold? A stronghold is a well-fortified place, a fortress. So we have a well-fortified place and a fortress in him. We can readily proclaim Psalms 27, verses 1 to 3. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When my enemies, even my foes, came to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. We thank God for the confidence in him by holding fast and being submitted to him that we have. There you have it. Thank you so much for viewing. Have a wonderful day. Shalom, Mitzvah number 12. Good day. Be well.